The Undeniable Favor of God. Achieving My Present by Walking in the Light of God's Love. By Elizabeth Jean Bruce, Ph.D. Chapter 1, Part 3. I remember hiding in a corner by a wooden fence, hoping the man in the car had decided to leave us alone. Finally, when we saw the man was gone, we ran the rest of the way back to our school campus. My friend and I had made it safely back to school. I thought to myself, I will never go off campus for lunch again. I eventually resumed occasional walks to lunch off campus, but I always used the main sidewalk with the rest of the pedestrian traffic. A change in high school. When I was a sophomore in high school, our family moved to Tucson, Arizona, where I attended Saguaro High. Life in Tucson was interesting. In school, I was able to make really close friends with whom I ate lunch and enjoyed free time. My first acquaintances were from the Black Culture Club. A group of girls from the club introduced themselves to me and welcomed me to join them. During lunch, we would watch boys play basketball. I enjoyed meeting the girls, but I was pretty shy and did not quite know what to say, so I was quiet much of the time. Eventually, the girls did not come around anymore. I met another friend with whom I became very close. She introduced me to her group of friends who were also very nice. At lunchtime, they enjoyed following boys that they liked around campus. My friend invited us to a party, celebration, and family gathering at her home. Everyone was very friendly and enjoyed these times together in celebration. It was always fun to be around them. My friend's family heritage was Irish and Spanish. One time, she invited me to a St. Patrick's Day celebration. The adults were looking around through the glass doors and pointing to leprechauns in the backyard and telling the children, "See, there's a leprechaun." We stayed in touch for years after high school. And when she got married, she sent me family pictures before our communication ended. During my sophomore year at Saguaro High, I worked in the administration office as part of my school schedule. In debate class, we were given assignments to prepare debates for or against specific topics. I remember a debate I participated in, during which I argued for gun control. This experience helped me understand how there can be valid arguments for multiple perspectives of political issues. I found classes at Saguaro to be interesting as well as educational. From Arizona to California. Our family moved to Vallejo, California when I was a junior in high school. The high school I attended in Vallejo was ethnically diverse, and many students who attended went to the same church as our family. When we first moved to Vallejo, friends of my parents picked us up from the San Francisco airport. The Democratic National Convention was in session, and the airport and city were bustling with energy. We spent the evening at our family friend's home, and later reserved a room at a local motel, where we stayed until we found our own place to live. We eventually rented a home from our friends. We would stay there during our 3 years in Vallejo. Hogan High. There were two major high schools in Vallejo, Vallejo High and Hogan High. These schools were friendly rivals. Homecoming and other football games were big events. Even though I never attended homecoming or a football game, I enjoyed the excitement of feeling of anticipation in the environment during these times. I attended Hogan High. I found my classes at Hogan to be interesting, and I did well in them. I remember two classes in particular, social studies and health class. I remember once in my social studies class, the instructor had asked a question in class, and I had completed the class reading assignment the night before. There was quite a pause in the class, and no one would answer the question. I slowly raised my hand, and when the instructor called on me, I gave my answer. The instructor confirmed that my answer was correct. I felt really scholarly that day, having read and remembered pertinent information and demonstrated knowledge of my homework topic. In my social studies class, I gained more experience considering various perspectives on political issues. We were instructed to write a one-page summary of the good qualities of Ronald Reagan, President of the United States, and leave it on our desk at the end of class on the due date. The instructions seemed to come out of nowhere. I was not yet old enough to vote, but in most cases I would have voted Democrat. Since being old enough to vote, I've always been a registered Democrat. There have been very few times when I voted Republican, like when I was disappointed that Jesse Jackson was not chosen as the 1988 running mate for the Democratic presidential candidate. I was determined to complete my homework assignment with objective accuracy and competency. I did some serious research and gathered factual information and looked at positive qualities that I could notice in the president. I was pleasantly surprised to find several positive attributes of the current president. One attribute that I included in my paper was the establishment of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday as a national federal holiday. I remember completing my paper and being happy that I was able to complete my assignment as instructed, with no reservations about anything that I had written. I also enjoyed my health class. The instructor was very friendly and knowledgeable about health issues. He answered many pertinent inquiries of my class peers informatively and without being daunted. I enjoyed learning in the social atmosphere in my health class at Hogan. One day we saw a movie about a woman giving birth. We saw the whole process, and I remember that for me, it took some of the mystery out of what was involved in giving birth. In addition to learning about childbirth, we also learned about safe birth control methods. We were shown various contraceptives and how they work. I thought it was interesting seeing these items up close and learning how they work. Some of them I had not heard of before. This experience educated me more about options available for couples who are not ready to become pregnant. At Hogan, I had a few close friends with whom I ate lunch frequently, but I do remember times when I ate lunch alone, either in the cafeteria, in a classroom, or outside. I was still quite shy, and I had discussed with my mother that I was seriously considering a career where I would not have to interact with people very much. Who would have thought that I would end up continuing my education to become a psychologist? At this time, I thought a career in computer technology or computer repair would be a good way to avoid social situations. I had even spoken with my high school counselor and informed her that I would like to work in the computer technology field. However, the wheels in my mind were still turning. A defining moment. One day I realized that I wanted to have a career where I could help people more directly. I knew I did not want to be a physician. I would not be able to handle the intricacies involved in healing the human body. One night, when I was a high school junior, I was watching 20/20 with my mother. That night, one of the featured guests was a child psychologist. During the interview, the child psychologist was sitting down with, and around him were a group of young people he had been working with. The young people shared how they were helped by the psychologist in their lives. I said to my mother, "That's what I can do." My mother encouraged me and agreed that I could do it. From then on, I was determined to become a psychologist, emphasizing work with young people. I graduated high school in 1986 and focused my academic career on completing the requirements for the field of psychology. My first post-secondary school was Solano Community College in Suisun, California. I took my psychology introduction course at a satellite in Vallejo at the city library, which was located near a marina. I made friends with a classmate at my satellite class, which made the class more enjoyable. For the rest of my classes, I went to campus by city bus and a shuttle that picked students up at the bus depot in Vallejo. I enjoyed the commute. The shuttles were generally spacious and quiet, with several other students who were commuting. Sometimes there were more students on the shuttle than other times. Additional courses I took at Solano Community College included a computer writing course and an English literature course. I also took a Spanish course. I enjoyed my Spanish course due to the instructor and a few classmates. The instructor encouraged me to continue to a more advanced course in Spanish, but I lacked confidence and did not pursue further advancement, though it felt very nice that he considered me a good candidate. I made a close friend on campus at Solano Community College. We kept each other company during free times, lunchtime, time between classes, and while waiting to take the shuttle home from campus. She would bring Milano cookies and share with me funny stories about her social life. Once she told me a story about the new wives of some formerly close platonic male friends. The wives would ask her to stop calling and writing their husbands. One day my friend said that she told one of the wives that she just wanted to remain friends, and she said that the wives responded, "Liar." I really enjoyed laughing with my friend during our time together. We stayed in contact for a few years after junior college, writing letters and sending cards. When our family moved from Vallejo to San Jose, I attended San Jose City College, where I eventually earned my Associate of Arts degree. I enrolled in classes in anthropology, music, and psychology. I don't remember making any close female friends during my time at San Jose City College, but I did make several male friends with whom I studied for classes and enjoyed visiting outdoor school festivals. Practice in navigating academic training at a university. After graduating from San Jose City College, I attended a state university for approximately 1 year. My courses included psychology, statistics, and English. In addition to starting at a large university, I was also adjusting to moving with my family into another home. I was struggling somewhat in my courses, and my grades were showing it. In particular, I remember being extremely stressed over some difficulty I was having understanding the material in my statistics class. I was so preoccupied with trying to understand the content of the statistics curriculum that I continued trying to figure it out during an earthquake. One day, I was sitting in my room, on my bed, trying to complete statistics homework. Suddenly, my bed lifted off the ground and began swaying from side to side, and my VCR was vibrating towards the edge of my dresser.